Most ecom advice is completely useless, not because it's wrong, but because it's usually given to the wrong brand at the wrong stage. Today, I'll show you why blindly copying ecom advice is one of the biggest mistakes you can make and how to figure out what you should actually focus on. So again, some quick context, I already slightly mentioned it. Most ecom advice is actually pretty good, but the problem is the missing context because every brand is at a different stage. Of course, when you're different stages, you normally have different problems, you have different bottlenecks. And when someone tells you that this is a real problem that you should focus on immediately and that you should really fix, and you didn't even have that problem, and you're still going on and fixing this problem and kind of working around it and trying what works and what doesn't work, you're not even confronted with this problem yet because it's at a different stage. So why should you bother to deal with this problem when you actually have different problems that you should focus on right now? First, of course, we're going to dive into email marketing advice. So when you're a 10 to 30K per month brand, so a slightly smaller brand, please don't build 15 hyper segmented flows. Just set up the basics, set up a good performing pop-up that you optimize every single month, set up some campaigns that are sending out 3 to 4 times per week. If you really don't have any time, try to at least send out 2 to 3 times per week and then just have some flows in place, not 15 flows, but just a few core flows that are actually moving the needle. And then you want to drive more traffic first and really focus on outbound, getting more website traffic, getting more people through your pop-up and getting more people onto your email list at the end of the day. Nailing the basics is so high leverage and you can really scale with that already and really only focus on segmentation and all kinds of stuff when you have a good amount of traffic and also when you have a good amount of subscribers. For a 30 to 100K per month brand, you definitely want to optimize the pop-up. Make sure that it has at least 10 to 15% subscribe rates. Totally depends on the brand how far you can go. But for every brand, you should be able to get at least 10% subscribe rates. Improve the core flows. Start some small segmentation strategies. Maybe start segmenting your welcome or your ban and checkout flow. Only the high leverage flows, of course. And then definitely send more campaigns if you're not doing that already. 3 to 4 campaigns is really the bare minimum. Yes, you might feel like you're spamming your list, but there's so many eventualities and things that could occur where people are not opening your emails, and nobody will open your emails 4 times per week when you're sending out 4 emails per week. Usually, generally speaking, the more emails you're sending out, the better it is because the more people will actually see them. And at this point, you can definitely consider and should definitely consider hiring a team of experts because they know how it works. They also have some different strategies that are a bit complex and that I wouldn't recommend you trying out yourself because it just takes too much time and you're not an email marketing expert. If you hire a team of experts, they know what they're doing and they can also start doing advanced strategies that can really help you scale along the way. Now, for a 100 to 500K plus per month brand, I would definitely recommend doing advanced segmentation for every flow, for every campaign, for every step you take, because especially talking about 500K per month plus brands, no, 500K plus per month brands. It's really important that you get the most out of your audience, that your audience really feels like they're a personal part of your list, like they're an individuum that you really treat like one. That's also why you definitely want to do personalization, because people just feel way more home. They feel way more like you actually care about them. And then next thing, apart from having advanced segmentation and treating people like individuals, is using AI, because I know you feel like it's kind of contrary to that, because a lot of people still believe that using AI for some reason is not liked and not seen by people. But people don't really care if you use AI in your emails. If some images are generated with AI, even better is when you actually have some elements with AI and you actually tell them, hey, this is AI, because then people will be like, oh yeah, they're honest. So I really appreciate that. And then also not just for customer facing stuff and front end stuff, but also for your back end workflows. Just use AI, customer service, systems that always need to be up to date, spreadsheets that you need to download, need to kind of evaluate. AI is so good at this stuff, and you can just set up workflows. You can set up agents that do everything themselves. You don't even have to do anything. You basically have a new employee that takes all the boring stuff, all the repetitive stuff, puts it in the workflows. So please use AI, especially for brands that are doing 100 to 500K per month plus. One thing you also want to do is lifecycle optimization. So make sure you get the most out of your customers, you get the most LTV out of them. The more customer lifetime value you actually have, of course, first of all, the more valuable your customers themselves are, but also the longer a customer sticks with your brand, the more likely they are to spread your message around to other people and recommend your products to other people. So it's really a multiplying effect here. And if you keep people for longer, they'll just attract way more people along the way as well. And at this point, if you didn't hire a team of experts, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're an expert yourself, but if your email marketing is working really well and you have 45% attributed revenue and you don't have a team of experts yet, I don't know what you're doing. Please outsource this. Please focus on other stuff, because it's really annoying stuff to do it when you have so many other things to focus on. So really important, I made a separate slide for this again. All of this advice is just out there. But the problem really is that these videos with advice don't have these stages. They don't separate advice into stages, but much rather they're just throwing out all this advice and you're like, all right, should I now do advanced segmentation and should I now do complex AI workflows and hire a team of experts when I'm a 10K per month brand? Should I do that? Because when you're listening to people that give you this advice, it sounds like you should do that. Please do not do that when you're at 10K per month. Please rather do the stuff that I told you that is really high leverage and 10K per month, which doesn't really cost you any time and effort and money as well. Right, now we come to paid ads advice. And I'm not an expert at paid ads. It's just my experience from working with email marketing and paid ads together. Of course, these channels just intertwine, they function together. And the problem is I only have the perspective as an email marketer on paid ads. I don't run paid ads, so take my advice with a grain of salt. For a small brand, just test the angles, validate your creatives, and please, please don't overspend. I've seen some brands spending $500 per brand, and they were generating maybe $7,000 in monthly revenue, and they spent $500 per day in paid ads. I don't know what they were doing, but these angles just didn't work. They were just blasting out all this money. And yes, you might think $500 per day is not much. Yes, for a bigger brand, that's not much. But for a brand that's doing 7K per month, it's the world. Like, it's more than they're actually earning that they're spending. So they're really in debt at this point, and the angles and the creatives don't even work. Now, for a growing brand, you already definitely arrived at the 6-figure mark. At this point, you should definitely select a few winning angles that you tested out that proven to work, and scale these winners and increase your budget carefully. Definitely do that, because you already have winning angles. You already know kind of what works and what doesn't work, and you can definitely spend more budget at this point. Don't overspend, because again, angles can change, creatives can not work in a month from now. So don't spend more than you can actually afford. Now, as a large brand, you're much more responsible for setting new trends and new winning angles. So you're not actually working with the winning angles anymore, but much rather you're setting these angles, and you are the one who is responsible for new trends, who's responsible for new ways of using your product, whatever. Definitely hire a team of experts. I'm not a team of experts when it comes to paid ads. We don't run paid ads, so please ask someone else for that. Have that team of experts in place. They'll do continuous testing, they'll do continuous iteration, and at this point, you'll really grow and you'll really need to scale your paid ads. All right, now some website advice. And I hope you're hosting your website on Shopify, because I'm just the Shopify guy. But for a new brand, don't worry about anything. Just have a clear product page, build trust, and keep it simple. These are the 3 main points. Just everything should be super clear. But one thing I should mention, I don't really like this off-the-rack Shopify look. Maybe other customers think the same, I'm not really sure. But as soon as I see a website where I know it's hosted on Shopify, for some reason, it just gives me the ache. I don't even know what's happening there. Please use your own colors, use your own fonts, use your own elements on the website. When it just looks like this Shopify template where you just paste it in your logo and an image of your product, it just doesn't do it for me. Now, for a bigger brand, you should definitely do conversion rate optimization. You should have separate landing pages when you're doing separate ad angles. Just to give you a quick example, you have a skincare brand and you have a product that is really good for treating acne, treating redness, and treating wrinkles. So these are all three different kinds of angles, because acne is really annoying at this moment in time and it hurts as well. And then redness of skin is maybe just those acne scars, maybe it's just pigmentation, whatever. This is another angle because it's kind of not hurting as much as acne, but still it doesn't look good. And then you have wrinkles, of course, related to age, related to looser skin, whatever. Basically have three completely different target audience. I would say the acne target audience is more of the younger generation, more of the teenagers, maybe 18 to 25 still. And then for the red spots and whatnot, you have kind of more the middle-aged people. And then with wrinkles, you have people starting at like 50, 60 who start developing wrinkles. And then you run different ad angles. And of course, then it makes sense to have separate landing pages, because when you have an ad going out to older people that worry about wrinkles and they want to lose their wrinkles, when they click on your website, they click on this product page and it immediately says lose your wrinkles, they'll just be way more likely to convert. But if you then use the same website for people who search for getting rid of their acne, and they click on this website and it says lose your wrinkles, they're probably not going to convert, So you definitely want to have different landing pages, which can be a really high leverage thing to do. And then, of course, I don't even want to mention it, A/B testing, especially for your website pop-up. A/B test the shit out of everything you can, because A/B testing is always great. You can see what works, what doesn't work, and you can apply these insights to all kinds of different parts of your business. And then, of course, hire professionals to design your website, because your website, at the end of the day, we're not at a point where agentic shopping took over too much. So your website is still the main point where people are purchasing from. Make sure your website looks good. All right, general retention advice. So a bit more broader than email, we could say. For a new brand, have a pop-up in place on email, have core flows in place, and have consistent campaigns, which is really the email side for now. Then for a scaling brand, of course, nail the basics first, but then also introduce loyalty programs, introduce referral or UGC incentives. So basically you offer people a discount or some kind of treat or offer when they leave a review, when they make a UGC video, whatever you want them to do, you can always offer them a reward for that. And then you already have referral and UGC incentives. Also nail your customer experience and support, because yes, I know everybody says it and you know yourself, customer support is really important. Customer experience is really important, but why are you not improving your packaging all the time? Why are you not having better customer service in place? Why are you not using AI to filter out your customer support inbox so that AI can take all the stuff that is easy to answer and basically directs all the important messages that are really sensitive and really important to separate support people that can immediately react? For a mature brand, everything else, all the fundamentals apply as well. Nail the basics, nail the fundamentals, start first advancements, and then go on with predictive segmentation. You can definitely use Klaviyo for that. You basically have this whole section of predictive analytics where you can work with things like predicted customer lifetime value, predicted this, predicted that. You can work with that greatly. You can target people who have a really high predicted customer lifetime value, who are more likely to buy in the next few months. And you can really use this data to train your Klaviyo account as well. And then, of course, advanced automations. Yes, it is okay to have a few more branches, to have a few more conditional splits in your Klaviyo account at this point, because your list is just way more complex. You have way more variables, you have way more people on the list that should definitely go down separate paths. VIP experiences, of course, is also part of advanced automations. You want to segment your VIPs, you want to send out special stuff to your VIPs so that you will get more VIPs at the end of the day. When you always tell people, hey, as a VIP, you get this, as a VIP, you get that. People want to become VIP, and when they are VIP, they should not be disappointed. Last thing to mention is UGC systems. So first of all, you want to hire UGC creators. I would personally recommend you don't hire too big creators, because they charge a lot of money for one UGC video for one post, and it's just not worth it, because this influencer marketing stuff, people already know how it works. People already know that when influencers talk about certain products, that they most likely get money, or that most likely you sent them the product. So it's just not that authentic anymore. And much rather, I would recommend you hire a lot of small creators. They have a few thousand subscribers maximum, like 5, 6, 7, 8,000 subscribers. People don't expect these creators to get paid for that. So it just sounds way more genuine. And you can target a lot more creators because they just naturally charge less. Then, of course, you can also reward customers to talk about their experience with the product. So it's not a UGC creator, but much rather a private person that ordered a product, that is happy with the product. You can offer them an incentive and they can basically leave a review, record a video, whatever you want them to do. All right, now the real problem is that people copy tactics. They copy everything that's out there. They copy everything everyone says. But you should definitely identify the bottlenecks instead. When a certain area is just not a bottleneck at this moment in time, it's not worth pursuing. It's not worth taking a look at how to fix it because you just have other bottlenecks that are worth fixing first. So the next time you hear general e-com advice, ask yourself first, what's actually currently holding my brand back? Is one of those advice actually applicable to my brand at this point in time? And you should ask yourself, what is holding my brand back? Is it website traffic? Is it conversion rates? Is it retention? Is it customer experience, offer, angle, product, whatever that might be? You can then search for specific advice on this specific problem at your specific stage. So when you're a brand that's doing 30 to 100K per month in revenue, don't copy advice from someone who's running a $1 million per month e-com brand because they are just at a different stage and it's really hard for them to get back to this stage where they were at once to 30 to 100K per month and give you this advice. Mindset shift. No, it's the other way around. The mindset shift is stop asking what's the best strategy, and instead you should start asking what's the best strategy for my current stage at this moment in time. So good advice applied at the wrong stage is just bad advice because it doesn't serve you well. And the fastest growing brands don't do everything at once. They prioritize, they identify the biggest bottleneck and solve that first. Don't have 10 bottlenecks on your list, but rather focus on one bottleneck first. Maybe it's you, maybe it's your logistics, maybe it's your supplier, maybe it's your offer, maybe you don't have enough employees, whatever that might be. Solve this bottleneck first and then move on to the next one. Remember, the fastest growing brands were able to grow because they nailed the basics first. Alright guys, you can check out more e-commerce strategy videos up here.